What is foreign policy? Foreign policy is a set of broad goals that influence a country's operations and relationships with other countries. Domestic considerations, other governments' policies or behavior, and aspirations to advance specific geopolitical designs all influence the evolution of foreign policy. In constructing foreign policy, Leopold Bondan prioritized geography and external challenges, whereas following writers emphasize home considerations. War, alliances, and international trade may all be forms of diplomacy, which is a weapon of foreign policy.
What is economic policy? Ano nga ba ang economic policy? Based on the information that we gathered, economic policy is a set of action that influence or govern the economic policy. The government is usually in charge of implementing and enforcing the policy. Economic policy includes decision government, spending, and taxation income, transfer from rich to poor, and availability of money to name a few. Ibig sabihin, ang economic policy ay binuo at dinisenyo pang-ekonomiya para pamahalaan ang magiging daloy ng ekonomiya. Pinamamahalaan ng gobyerno ang pagpapatupad ng patakarang pang-ekonomiya, kasama na ang paggastos, paglalagay ng buwis, paglipat ng kita mula sa mayaman hanggang sa mahirap. For the additional information, here's the 1-minute video clip that's referred by our group.
So, let's tackle about the economic policies in South Korea. Ranking 10th among the world's largest economic powers and 4th in Asia in 2021, South Korea is famous for its spectacular rise from one of the poorest countries in the world to a developed high-income country in just one generation. However, the South Korean economy is on track for one of its worst two-year growth periods in more than half a century, battered by China's economic slowdown and uncertainties over the trade war between Beijing and Washington, and the global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, stagnant investment, and the failure to spill the boom of chip sector over into other industries already limited economic growth to an estimated 2% in 2019, before declining to negative 1% in 2020. According to the IMF's April 21 forecast, GDP growth is expected to bounce back to 3.6% in 2021 and stabilize at 2.8% in 2022, subject to the post-pandemic global economy recovery. And due to the plugging of export and investment, South Korea's economic development has slowed since 2018. In 2018, annual GDP growth was 2.7%, down to 0.5 percentage points from 2017, while in 2019, the minimum wage was raised by 10.9%, and President Moon agreed to limit future minimum wages after business groups protested. The government has expanded public investments to promote the economy, with the central bank supporting the budgetary expansion with interest rate reduction. The administration has promised to improve the country's business environment through overhauling the country's major corporate conglomerates, which is the chaebol. The chaebol self-regulation was the main focus. Household debt remains a key economic issue, and the government has taken a number of comparably modest measures to cool down the real estate market.
For the second half of 2021, Korean government has set 3+2 goals. The first set is that they want to help the economy rebound completely from the pandemic, and the second set is that they want to restructure the economy for the future. Under the first set, there are 3 goals. There are number 1, fast and strong recovery. 2, help with recovery in working households. 3, seek inclusive recovery. And the second set, there are 2 goals. First is that they want to develop new growth engines, and the second one is prepare for change in the future. For the fast and strong recovery, Korean government will keep its expansionary macroeconomic policies in place to assist the country grow at the rate of over 4% in the 2021, using section-specific measures to enhance domestic consumption, investments, and exports. Number 2 is help with recovery in working households. Korea will concentrate on efforts to help working class households recover, such as job creation and small business support, as well as step and to keep consumer prices stable. Through fiscal measures, the government will encourage job creation and retention. They want to promote the creation of up to 150,000 jobs in high-tech fields like AI and SW, as well as the leisure service sector with a concentration of young adults. The government will provide an additional support package to aid small firms and enterprises in the recovery efforts, which will be funded with the second supplementary budget. They will also plan for growing inflation in order to assist working families. Third is seek inclusive recovery. They will aid the recovery of the economy from the coronavirus by giving sector-specific assistance and strengthening social safety nets, including job security. They will provide a ladder of hope, a complete support package for young people that includes job, housing, asset creation, and quality of life. The administration will also try to close gaps and meet demands in sectors where women, the arts, education, and social welfare are all at risk. They will seek to achieve the aims of the Korean New Deal for job stability and social safety nets, which includes universal employment insurance and expanded unemployment benefits. The next set is for economy restructuring for the future. The first one is to develop new growth engines. South Korea plans to invest a total of 22.5 trillion won in important Korean New Deal initiatives such as big data, clean energy, and future mobility. Between now and 2021, Big Three will receive considerable fiscal and tax support from the Korean government, including tax rebates from environmentally friendly car purchases and R&D support for auto semiconductor development, as well as efforts to reach vaccine independence. They will assist in development of DNA or digital network AI ecosystem-based new enterprises and innovative services, such as the use of big data in the healthcare, as well as revising the personal data protection law. They will build supplemental measures for the venture ecosystem, such as reforming stock options and rewriting the Venture Business Act, reducing the cornerstone investor system, and expanding the scale-up fund in order to continue spreading the second venture boom. The second goal is to prepare for change in the future. They'll aim toward carbon neutrality by 2015, assist with corporate business restructuring, prepare for demographic shifts, work on labor market and fiscal reform.
Foreign policy of South Korea. South Korea is still a small, weak country surrounded by larger, more powerful neighbors. Despite its successes in non-traditional security concerns such as international development, global health, and UN peacekeeping, South Korea's abilities to respond to regional security threats is limited.
the country's growing importance offers a ray of optimism that it would be able to break out from its historical role by leveraging its enhanced capabilities to shape its strategic environment. The problem for South Korea's strategic strategists is figuring out how to do so. Given possibly conflicting great power rivalries and Pyongyang's aspirations to seek asymmetric nuclear or cyber weapons at Seoul's expense as the regional security situation becomes more heated, South Korea's strategic opinions are constrained. Diplomacy evolved from war-related geostrategic competition among nations to everyday procedures of information collection, meetings, conference, public diplomacy, and discussion linked to economic and unconventional security challenges after the Cold War ended. These routines are the bits and pieces that make up a country's foreign policy implementation, and the National Assembly does not constantly supervise the foreign policy of South Korean residents, except during regular inspection and investigation periods. Even so, unless allegedly criminal conduct are exposed, such as proceeding do not halt or hinder foreign policy implementation. South Korea is known for cosmetic surgery, cosmetics, K-pop, technology, cuisine, and its tourism. South Korea is known for its rich history and cultural heritage, making it a famous tourism country spot for travelers.